Hey everybody, welcome to Fortunate Creations. I'm Kim and this is day 24 of the Santa Cloth Challenge. Today's stitch is the V-stitch in peach. Now the closest I have to peach is this coral, and the accent color is Coral Sea Ombre. So that's what I'm going to be working with. Like I said, this is a stash busting project, so I'd rather not buy anything new, especially this late in the challenge. So for the V-stitch, right now I'm working on the base row of half doubles through the back bump of the original chain. So I do the V-stitch quite often. In one of my ponchos, the Pebble Beach poncho, I use a lot of the V-stitch. So I'm going to do the V-stitch the way I did it in that pattern. Some of you might do a V-stitch differently, but I do a double crochet, chain one, double crochet, then I chain two, skip one, and go to the next. So that's the pattern I'm going to work with. We're going to start with that and make sure everything matches out with the numbers, because that's the pattern I use for the poncho, which is quite a bit bigger. So we'll see if my pattern works for this one as well. Come on, back bump. All right, so final bump. Come on. They always get really tight towards the end. There we go. Okay, final bump. Chain one, turn your work. Now, I'm going to do a double crochet right here in the first. Ooh, not a half double, a double. My hook has a mind of its own. It likes half doubles. So there we go. Double. Then I'm going to chain one, skip one, do a double crochet, chain one, double crochet. There we go. So that's the V-stitches I'm going to be working on. Chain one, skip one, chain two, skip one. Let's see if that's going to work. Is that going to work? Double crochet, chain one, double crochet. I'm trying to see if the numbers are going to add up. Is that too many? That might be too many. So I'm going to chain one, skip one, and then try that. Again, you're working through the creative process with me. Chain one. Let's see how this looks. You can always tell if your spaces are getting too much or if your number count is off. Chain one, skip one, V-stitch. So when I get to the end, I want the same number of stitches that I started with, and I don't want it to be too gappy. Is that the word? Chain one, skip one. All right, I'm going to finish this row, count my stitches, and let you know if it's going to work. I'll be right back. Okay, so I worked it out. I'm doing the V-stitch without a chain one in the middle. So it's two double crochets in one stitch to form a V-stitch. So to start the next one, I'm going to do a double crochet here. I'm going to skip one and then do the V-stitch right there. So you're going to see that the V-stitches are staggering. One here, here, like that. Okay, so then I'm going to skip one and put a V-stitch right here. Now the V-stitches that I'm used to doing have a stitch in between, but this one does not, for the purposes of having the cloth. Well, a couple things. I don't want the cloth that spaced out. I don't want so much air in it, you know, because it is a kitchen cloth. And I just couldn't get the numbers to match putting one in the middle, putting a chain one in the middle. So I took it out. And that's the fun thing about creating your own patterns and doing your own thing. You can figure out what works for your needs and adjust accordingly. This is really a super easy stitch, works up really quick. Not only does the row work up quick, but the size of your project is going to work up quickly as well, because it's double crochets, so they're going to be nice and tall. So each row is going to add about an inch to your project. Therefore, your kitchen towel will work up quite rapidly. I think for the hot plate, I'm going to do half double V-stitches. That'll be kind of neat. Okay, so I'm just making sure that I have 30 stitches at the end of each one. So it's going to be a V-stitch here and then a double crochet in the very end. And that's going to be this whole towel. I'm going to go ahead back and forth and make sure, yeah, nice V-stitch. You can see the V's. You can see the V. And it's working out quite nicely. So I'm starting each row, chain 2, and then a double crochet right here in the beginning. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead, skip 1 and put a V-stitch. And I like the way the pattern just kind of made itself staggered. I did toy with the idea of a drop-down V, but I couldn't get that worked out well either. So I do believe I like this. It's going to work up quite nicely. Now you see, I see where I messed up the row before. So guess what? Do-do-do, do-do-do. There we go. You gotta get it right. There we go. 1, 2. There we go. That's what you get for rushing, right? Okay. Sometimes you can go ahead and fudge that. If it was a really big project like a poncho or a blanket, missing 1 double crochet in the whole thing wouldn't be a deal breaker, but it's just a kitchen towel and I want it to work out perfectly. So I went ahead and frogged that out. Chain 2, turn, much better. Okay, I'm going to keep going with this, and I'll check back in when it's time to do the decrease. All right, so I've got the towel part done. I did one of the contrast colors there, accent colors, whatever we want to call it, and I'm going to now start my row of half doubles so I can do the top. So as usual, I do 1 row of just regular half doubles all the way across. Can't believe this is the final video. I will have the 25th day tomorrow, but that's going to be during my live. So that will be a live Coffee with Kim video where I reveal day 25, which I remember it's yellow, but I don't remember what the stitch is right now. Oh, it's the wave stitch. The wave stitch in yellow is tomorrow's. So we drew that one the other day so that I could make it ahead of time and reveal it on Christmas Day. So I wasn't trying to do a video on Christmas Day. It's going to be a little bit busy. As it is, doing this one on Christmas Eve is pushing it a little bit, but I should just make it. I can hit upload and have it upload while I head to my family to celebrate Christmas Eve. So my brother asked me to bring deviled eggs, and I just made, so I will make them, but I just made some caramel, some homemade soft caramel chews. First time ever making them, and they came out really cool. So I'm going to wrap them in parchment paper or wax paper. I'll see which one works best. I'll put a little bow on it and wrap them each like little packages. I think that'll be cool. I chained 2. I only need to chain 1. Okay, so I'm going to start the decrease now. So yarn over, I skip 1, go into that one, pull up a loop, go into the next one, pull up a loop, pull through all of them, and then finish the row in half doubles. And then I do the same thing each time I turn. So that keeps the tapering consistent. So what I'm doing is I also have to set alarms to make myself stop crocheting and get other things done. So I set an alarm for an hour. I work on the crochet for an hour, and then I'll do housework for an hour and then flap back and forth. So I just stopped and mopped the floors. Good thing I get up early. Next thing I need to do is stop and pack the Jeep with all of the stuff that has to go to my brother's. So finishing touches on everything. The eggs are pretty much done. I just got to remember, I got to box them up so that they're ready to go. I don't think I'm going to take Fritzy with me, although he'd be good. I just want time to relax with my family. So I think I'll just head out there for a couple hours and enjoy my family while he hangs out here. And I know winter is very boring for him, and I feel bad, but there's no way he can go outside for any amount of time when it's like -4 or when the high is only 20. His little feet just can't take it. And I've tried to make booties for him. You can imagine how that worked out. He's just too tiny. His little legs are not much bigger than this, so very difficult to keep something on his legs. Very difficult. And he doesn't like it one bit. So he doesn't like any kind of clothing, and I don't blame him. He's a dog after all, right? All right. He doesn't realize that would be for his own good if he would wear them, but that's quite all right. So I just don't let him out that often. I let him out when he's got to do his business, but as far as playing out there, no way. It's just too cold. I could try to take him to an indoor dog park, but he does not play well with other dogs unless he gets to know them. My brother's dogs, he loves them. He plays and runs and has a blast with them, but any other dog, he doesn't like them. He's fine once he gets to know them, but he doesn't want them near me, is his big thing. So as long as they're not near his mom, which if they're near him, they're near me, right? Anyway, sorry for that rant. Now you see what I think of while I'm crocheting. My next project. What can I make? What's next? What can I do next? Always looking for the next project, right? Always looking for, once this is off my hook, what's going on it, Especially after these 25 days of making a cloth every single day. The whole kitchen set every single day. I'm going to be feeling like I'm forgetting something when I don't have the set to do every day anymore. But this really has been fun. I really do appreciate you guys all watching this and all of you that send me pictures of it and all of that. I love it. It's really cool. Thank you for supporting me in this challenge. Thank you for trying the challenge yourself. I know that Miss C from Miss C's Cottage and Amber from JB's Crochet, they've both been doing them. And I've been really enjoying watching them do their projects. So, all right. And again, I keep going with this until I get down to about 4 or 5 stitches. And then we pick the button. I don't think I have a peach button. I might have an orange one. We'll see. I might go with just black, but black doesn't work because it doesn't show up at all in this. Right? There's no black at all in this. We'll see. We'll see what we come up with. Okay. Back and forth with the half doubles just to get the top cinched in, tapered in, whatever in, however you want to put it. Boy, this accent color is really pretty. I know it's supposed to be peach, but it's actually coral. I really think it's pretty. Coming out nicely. I do like it. I do got to get myself hurrying up. No dilly-dallying here. I have an hour drive to my brother's. Stay there for a few hours, see my daughter and see my siblings and all my nieces and nephews. That'll be nice. Haven't really seen anybody since camping season stopped. And when you're used to seeing everybody every weekend for 3 or 4 days in a row, it's kind of hard to stop seeing each other. So I miss them. If it was up to us, my siblings and I, we would all live at the farm where we grew up, all put houses together and just live as neighbors. I know that's weird, but that's how close my family is. That's how much I love being around them. Yeah. And that is also our emergency plan. If anything ever happens in the world where we need to find each other or find refuge, that's where we all go, to the farm. We'll all meet there and figure it out from there. All right. Well, of course, I'll bring my kitchen towels. They're going to need kitchen towels. Okay. Could you imagine I show up with a truck full of yarn? You know I will. Who's going to make all the clothes when there's no more stores? I know I'm being silly. Sometimes I like being silly. It's the fun of it. It was always the goal of my dad before he passed that all of his kids live close to one another. And we do. Well, with an exception of my one sister. She moved down to the Carolinas because she didn't like winter. The rest of us just tough it out. We've been through some crazy winters. Okay, we're getting there. Here we go. So my plan for all of these kitchen towels from the Santa Claus Challenge is over the summer. There is, during the county fair that I run the craft barn, there's like a week-long craft pop-up boutique in there. And I'm going to sell some of my stuff in there. That'll be fun. Make a little cash. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. I'm going to get this one. 2. Okay, so now it's 4. And I'm just going to keep going back and forth with 4 until that's long enough and I'm ready for the buttonhole. Then, before I actually make the buttonhole, I'm going to find a button so I know how big of a hole to make. Because you don't want to just go ahead and make a standard size buttonhole. If you find a small button, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And it would slip right through. You see what I'm saying? Are you picking up what I'm laying down? Are you smelling what I'm cooking? That'd be a phrase my friend used to say. Are you smelling what I'm cooking? Which just means, do you understand what I'm saying? Are you picking up what I'm laying down? That's another way of saying, do you understand what I'm saying? That's pretty funny. All right. Boy, this is such pretty colors. I can honestly say everybody in that chat that day picked some beautiful stitches and some beautiful colors. And I did do my best with what I had. Yes, I did order some cotton along the way because I ran out of the basics. So I needed to make sure I had some whites and some purples. And so I did end up ordering some as I was going along. But for the most part, this was a stash buster. And I think I have decided with all the scraps I have left of all the sugar and cream, ones that aren't big enough to make anything, I'm going to make a runner for my camper. It's going to have to be about 6 feet long. So that ought to be quite the challenge. And then I'm going to have to get one of those rug grippers, you know, those things that go on the bottom? They kind of made a rubbery something. They grip the floor and the rug. Put that on there. I think that'll be fun. Make my own runner for the camper out of all of this. So nothing goes to waste. All right, how are we looking here? Okay, time to pick a button. Let's see. Ooh, I can't believe it. Are you kidding? The world's most perfect button. So now, look at that. Look how that's going to look right there. It's going to be awesome. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and chain 3 and then loop it over to here. Now remember, you want your buttonhole to be a little bit tight at first because it will stretch. Okay. I have to do a row of single crochet. Well, let's do half doubles. I always say single and then I do half double. Normally I used to do the singles around the outsides, but for flimsier stitches like this one, I'll do the half doubles to give it a little bit more stability. So that's what I'm going to do now. Pull this all the way around the outside. Give it a finished off appeal. Then I have to work on, I've already done the scrubby, but I have to work on the hot plate, hot pad, whatever you want to call it. The other part. Just that there other part that I'm working on. I gotta work on it. I know. Again, being silly. That's the way I like it. I like to be silly. All right, I'm not going to make you suffer through this with me, so I'm going to go ahead and finish this, and I will get back with you when I have the set complete, and we will reveal day 24, the full V-stitch in peach. All right, so if you're trying this with me, I'd love to see it. But for now, I'll be right back. All right, so I've completed the whole set. So here's the towel, V-stitch, love it. Here is the miniature V-stitch. I actually did this with half doubles for the hot plate, and then I did a scrubby. Now, as I mentioned earlier in, I think it was in my live, you can fold this over and sew it like that to make the scrubby smaller, or you can use it bigger like this. I'm leaving it bigger for now. So let's put these all together. It's quite a large button, but I kind of like it. Here we go. Slide that over there. Slide this over here. I'm very excited. This is day 24. We only have one left, and I'm doing that during the live tomorrow. All right, and I'm putting this with a honey almond soap. Look how perfect that goes. So there we go, everybody. The V-stitch in peach. Ta-da! Day 24 of the Santa Cloth Challenge. As I say every day, please, if you try any of these, go ahead and send it to me on Facebook. I would love to see it. Hot coffee. I'd love to know if you guys are doing this along with me or if you'd like to try any of them. These are not tutorials. So if you would like more guidance on how I do these, or some, not really a pattern, but if you want me to tell you how I did it, shoot me a message on Facebook or shoot me a message on here, and I will be happy to explain it more to you. All right, so day 24, the V-stitch in peach, all done. All right, you guys, check out everything. Share, like, subscribe, do the bell, do all sorts of stuff. I'm glad you're here. Merry Christmas to all of you that are celebrating, and I will see you tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. for the final day of the Santa Cloth Challenge, where I will reveal all 25 of them. All right? So have a great day, and remember, always be happy, be kind, and be creative. I'll see you guys later.